So hello everyone, it's Samit Kumar. Welcome to Key Concept. In today's session, we are continuing the different settings that related to the PhD. Okay. So till now, what about the things where we have discussed? Like we have discussed like how to acquire the different motor parameters and how to select different ISDT settings, and what are the different factors that related to the ISD settings, and what are the key points that we have to keep in mind while doing these settings. Okay. So what are the issues that we are facing while we're doing these settings? Then next point that we have discussed like the PhD settings. In that we have discussed like how to select the like PhD current threshold values, and what happened when we selecting the higher value and what happened when you select the lesser value. Let's go for some quick review and like these videos, what are the key points that we have discussed in our last lecture. So it will help you to understand the information, and then same way we call for the next session, because all those like you can say the settings are related to each other, so it has to be, please try to keep watching these videos. You can relate information with each other, that will help you to understand the concept perfectly, right? So first we have discussed like what are the why we need to start the motor, because these motors are not self-start motors, so we need to find some way in which we can start the motor from you can say the rest position. And for that there are two different methods are available. First is align and go method. So we have discussed like we have some initial certain current, certain DC voltage that we have inject to the motor, and for some certain time duration, and then motor will align in such a some direction, in either in a like forward direction, either in a reverse direction, and once it rotates, and based on that we'll start the motor. So some, if you are looking like some, if in some cases the rotation is all looks awkward, so in that time we need to start the motor perfectly, so we need to go for the PhD setting. So PhD settings or a PhD methods basically utilize the inductive sensing method. So inductive sensing method, what actually it means, we have three phases. So we select the six sequences. Okay, so assume UVW three phases. So we sequentially arrange like sequentially six different phases we have selected. In that phases we are sending you can say the high frequency voltages to the each phase sequences. And when we sending these frequency to the each sequences, we are like you can say the check the time duration in how fast. And also we have selected for while doing this we always select some certain current. If you're selecting the lesser value, then motor will get very closely get saturated, and in that time motor might not able to work. Okay, so what you need to do, you have to select some you can say the proper current while motor can take proper startup. Okay, so we have to select by taking some hit and trial method based on the motor, which in which value motor will start perfectly. So if we are sending your current, and if like if you are sending high frequency voltages to the motor, and if your motor saturation time is smaller from some particular phase, so you must understand that that particular phase is very much closer to your north pole. So if you energize that particular sequence of the motor, then your motor will start perfectly. And once you if you selecting these six phases, so usually it always be indicated in such a way that like let's assume some condition like UV or VW, any sequence you are going to get the lesser time. It means that particular phase sequence now you know, and you know, see where actually your rotor actually positioned. Okay, so you know the exact location of your rotor, and based on that, if you energize your phase, then your motor will start smoothly. Okay, so this is the graph that we have discussed. Hope you get the idea. So in today's session we are going to start with the PhD advanced angle. So PhD advanced angle, as you see the picture, so it actually refer to the different angle of torques. Okay, so if you're selecting different values, usually the device is having 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, or 80 degree, 180 degree, sometime 120 degree also. Okay, so in all cases, as you can see, if you are selecting the 90 degree advance angle, in that case you are going to get the higher torque value. Okay, so usually in ceiling fan application I always go with the 90 degrees. So in some cases, if your motor is not able to take a proper start, then you have to go for some other values. While selecting these values are totally depends on the physical appearance, how your motor going to start. Okay, so usually for ceiling fan application and some other application, I usually always go with the 9, because it will provide you with the high torque. Okay, The same way, as we have discussed, like 90 degree is always provide you the maximum torque. In the same way, you are going to get, like in some cases, if your the maximum torque provide you the uneven, you can say the acceleration. So sometime, but yeah, while selecting these values, you have always try to keep observe the startup condition. If your startup is smooth, then that's not an issue. So as you see the angle of we have the 90 degree. If you selected the 9, just first compare the two different values. So if your advanced angle is 90 degree, then going to get someone what this particular graph for startup. And if you have a 30 degree, so you are going to get some. If you compare these two graphs, so what actually it means, if you have a 90 degree, it means like you are going to get the higher torque value, and your motor will start from this peak level. Okay, and if you're getting the 30 degree, so motor will start from this. So in this cases, if your motor current is taking higher value, it means the torque value is higher. Okay, if you're in the case of 30 degree, your the torque value is lesser. Okay, so sometimes it is useful, sometimes in some application you need to get a higher torque, so you need to select. So more or less 90 degrees more appropriate value to go for the application. So that also values, so totally depends on the observation. Okay, so the next point is the IPD or PhD clock. Okay, the clock, what actually it means, like when you're sending these current values, like if you say this like the high frequency voltage, as I discussed, like there are you can say the 6 sequence voltages that we are going to send. Like if we have the you can say 3 phases, like if you have, you can say we have discussed like on this one, if you have 3 phases. Okay, so let's assume this one is 3 phases that you're going to send. So what actually happens, like you have a 3 sequence U, V, okay, U, V, and V, W, so on. You have 6 W, W, U. So you have total 6 sequence. Okay, so in each sequence you are sending the distance of one you can say the pulse and the next pulse. Okay, this all values are basically depends on the clock. Okay, if you're selecting the lesser, you can say the clock. Okay, then you're going to the time duration is getting higher. In the same way, if you're selecting the lesser time, a lesser clock value, it means the distance of this one is get smaller. So what is the significance of, or what is the thumb rule behind it? So usually what happen, okay, if your motor having higher inductance value, if your motor inductance value is higher, okay, if your motor inductance value is higher, okay, inductance value is higher, it means that you need to get higher current, higher time duration to settle the current. If you, okay, if you have a very high inductance, you need higher time to settle the current. In the same way, you need lower frequency or a smaller frequency. Okay, in the same way, if your inductance is very less, it means you are going to be required very less time duration. It means you need to select very high frequency. Okay, okay, so if your motor inertia, or also if your motor is basically having a very high inductance, it means you need to select the lesser value. If your inertia is if your inductance value is very less, then you have to select the higher frequency. So more or less, okay, more or less, if you're selecting less frequency, okay, it means it may causes acoustic noise or a vibration to the motor. Okay, so in more applications, if your inductance value is less, then you have to select the maximum frequency. Okay, so this is the point that I'm saying. Okay, the same point that we have discussed. Like if your motor having a high inductance, the longer time to settle the current. If you settle the current, so clock frequency always be in a lower condition. Okay, in the slower clock. If you have a slower clock, in that case the noise is louder and the current pulse is set longer. So, but that also depends on the application. For ceiling fan application, okay, when we talk about the ceiling fan application, we need to select the 95 hertz. It means the inductance values are also we are going in the range of 5 millihenry, and that is actually a very less inductance, okay, and it will take less time. The time duration is very less. It means it required frequency is very higher. So always try to go with the 95 hertz. Okay, thanks for watching my videos. Thanks a lot. This is the whole three different parameters that we have went through. First is like initial like PSD, we can say the current threshold. Another is the advance angle. Another is clock. So all three values are selected. Always we based on the physical appearance of motor startup and some basic guideline that I already have shared. So please go through these video again and again. So if you have any doubt, please let me know. I will come up with the more efficient videos that will help you to understand these motor tunings. And if you understand these, that will help you to provide you better understanding. So thanks for watching this video.